Kate Winslet was able to set a new record on a movie set, holding her breath for 7 minutes and 14 seconds.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most extreme things actors did to prepare for Avatar: The Way of Water.
They made sure I could do parkour just decently as like a base, you know?
For this list, we're looking at the most incredible and unexpected skills that performers picked up to dive into this sci-fi sequel. Since we'll be talking about minor plot points, beware of spoilers ahead. If you could instantly have one of these actors' skills, which one would you choose? Let us know in the comments. Moving with knives, spears, dancing, parkour, and more.
We have actors working in a volume with markers on their body, facial head rigs on their head, and we capture 100% of their performance in the digital world.
Before the actors took the plunge into any water tanks, they had to hone a few special skills first. Like the first film, there's a few intense scenes where characters rely on their fists or knives to take down opponents.
It's all over.
Nothing's over while I'm breathing.
I kind of hoped you'd say that.
This required several actors to practice their weapon skills behind the scenes to get them ready to take their fighting talents underwater. Zoe Saldana became so good at archery that she was able to win on-set bets with James Cameron by consistently hitting targets. She was also one of the cast members who leaned back on dance skills to help them move realistically in water while holding weapons. Admittedly, combining sharp instruments like knives and dancing might sound like something out of West Side Story. But it's incredibly cool to think that dance might have been the secret ingredient to making fights look so fluid. The combination might have helped actors Stephen Lang and Sam Worthington use bladed weapons over 20 feet underwater when the action really heated up. Outside of knives, Academy Award winner Kate Winslet got familiar with a spear.
I've done a lot of green screen, I've done a lot of blue screen, but never anything, of course, like this, where there really is no screen, you're just acting in a space.
Although she found taking the weapon beneath the surface challenging at first, she eventually adapted to it as the process went on. Winslet and the rest of the cast also received parkour training so they could all become nimble Na'vi.
They made sure I could do parkour just decently as like a base, you know? And I remember I like sent them a photo of me like climbing like a tree in my neighborhood, like a 100-foot tree, to be like, look, I can do it.
Additionally, the cast practiced riding on top of mechanical creatures to prepare to convincingly interact with their aquatic allies. While their special skills fell in place, the actors also got ready to dive into the watery environment.
It is just remarkable to be able to see the movements and the performance go straight into the character.
Calling pop culture superfans everywhere. Do you love to argue with WatchMojo's top 10 ranks? Introducing WatchMojo's first and very own party game. Bring your superpowers to the table and fight for your pick to be at the top of the list. It's all the fun of the comment section, but in real life. Learning breathtaking freediving techniques.
You know, we all have this capacity to hold our breath for long periods of time, but we don't tap into it. But we learn to do that so we could actually act underwater.
In the past, studios have used CGI and wires on dry land when they want to shoot extensive underwater scenes. But not James Cameron. Years before filming began, he had a chance meeting with a freediving expert named Kirk Kroc. This highly skilled professional was instrumental in the cast of Avatar 2's breath-holding training.
Cast members learned what's called diaphragmatic breathing. This deep breathing technique strengthens the diaphragm and stretches the lungs and rib cage.
Kroc's instruction required the cast to be both physically and mentally ready to go underwater for various scenes. In one of their exercises, performers had to dive up to 16 feet to retrieve rings in water. This got them well prepared to do laps in a tank with over 200,000 gallons of water that could generate waves. After training, the younger members of the cast who portrayed Jake's children and other teenagers could reportedly dive for 2 to 4 minutes at a time.
Never again will, in an audition, we have to do a free dive training and hold our breath for a minute to prove that we can actually get the film. So that's a unique experience in itself.
Veteran actor Sigourney Weaver became so skilled that she outlasted a stunt diver. However, it was Kate Winslet that captured the most headlines for her incredible feat. She was able to hold her breath for an astonishing 7 minutes and 15 seconds.
Kate Winslet was able to set a new record on a movie set, holding her breath for 7 minutes and 14 seconds, which is slightly less than the amount of time a bottlenose dolphin holds its breath.
Not only did Winslet's accomplishment generate cheers on set, but it also beat Tom Cruise's on-screen record of 6 minutes for Rogue Nation. All of these astounding aquatic feats were achieved to make the movie look more realistic. Air bubbles from scuba gear or similar tech could have thrown off the underwater filming sensors. By relying on freediving, Cameron's crew was able to capture all the footage without any issues. The actors also deserve extra kudos for giving such emotional and action-heavy performances while holding their breath. In one climactic sequence, Sam Worthington and Stephen Lang had to pretend to choke each other while convincingly portraying characters who hated each other.
But when, if Sam Worthington pulls a knife on me, 30 feet under, then I can't stay under that long.
You're like, wait a minute, the clock is ticking, right?
I gotta go.
That duo and the other performers also had to figure out how to get acting notes quickly. Whenever a scene needed to be tweaked, divers like Kroc would get notes on the surface from the director.
We're capturing a much higher fidelity of performance.
But I know one thing. This family is our fortress.
He would then communicate those notes to actors underwater without speaking. The process fittingly mirrors the sign language used for aquatic scenes in Avatar 2. While that communication was new, actors had to brush up on their Na'vi and specialized accents to portray the aliens.
He taught us how to act underwater, which is basically you open your mouth just a little bit, which lets the audience in.
Thanks to the hard work the performers put into their physical and verbal skills, the residents of Pandora felt extremely real on land or in water. And while we're on the subject of water, it's worth mentioning that it took over 250,000 free dives to get all the scenes down. There was also a time where 26 actors and crew were in the tank at the same time. This was all possible due to excellent diving training, safety measures, and the dedication of the performers. While every cast member went above and beyond, Sigourney Weaver took a particularly interesting step in her Avatar 2 prep.
Did you draw on your own 14-ness to play this part?
I'm afraid I had to, yes.
Weaver goes back to school.
The amazing thing is that the technology gives me that portal to bring my 14-year-old self to play this girl.
Avatars only go round.
Since it looked like Weaver's character Grace didn't survive the first film, no one was expecting her to have a huge role in the sequel. But she shocked audiences by returning as her character's 14-year-old daughter Kiri. In order to play someone that young, Weaver took a trip to LaGuardia High School in New York. While there, she saw how teenage students acted and talked to each other. Articles did not say whether any of the young actors quoted Weaver's iconic line from Aliens during her visit.
Get away from her, you bitch!
But it is easy to assume that the high school observation helped the actress make us believe that Kiri was actually being played by a teenage performer.
You're a 14-year-old girl?
Yeah.
You play a teenager in this?
I do.
You are a good actress.
Since the character has quickly become a fan favorite, we definitely owe the students at LaGuardia a huge thanks for being themselves. We also knew Kiri will return thanks to one more surprising behind-the-scenes fact.
I have had to work completely differently than I ever have before, and it's been an amazing experience to go back in time.
Actors had to be ready to film multiple movies at once.
One of the big advances that we've made technologically on the sequels is the facial performance capture.
It's been widely reported that the Avatar franchise will consist of at least 5 films. But not everyone was aware that director James Cameron got a big head start. According to reports, performers completed, quote, 95% of Avatar 3's scenes before 2022 came to a close. This means that actors had to familiarize themselves with multiple scripts and character arcs at once. Their work became even more impressive when it was revealed that scenes for the 4th movie have also been shot. By tripling up behind the scenes, Cameron was able to capture footage of the youngest members of the cast before they went through any growth spurts. Anyone who watches a series with an ensemble cast of kids knows how jarring it can be when they age faster than their characters.
You need to shave, my friend. You know, at times, I forget how much you've grown.
Outside of the younger cast, Saldana has practically completed all of her work on Avatar 3. The extensive preparation for multiple trips to Pandora from the actress and the rest of the cast have us ready for more stories set in this imaginative world.
I need you with me, and I need you to be strong.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.